We're recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Do Epic Shit Today podcast. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Gabe. What's up, Gabe?
What's up, everyone? Happy to be on. Thanks for having me.
Dude, I'm stoked to have you here. It's been a hot minute since I've actually chatted with you since LA days, but
It's been probably a couple of years, honestly. At least. Yeah, it's been a while.
yeah, because I think we met back in, like VRC OG days.
Yeah, I think there's maybe 15 people at VRC the day I went, and yeah, I was at that liquor store on Washington, I believe. So yeah, those are very OG days where I
Yeah.
didn't really know what the idea of a run club was really at that time.
Yeah. And for those that are listening and don't know VRC, it's Venice Run Club in Venice Beach, California. I wanted to invite you on the podcast today because I've been just through similar circles, been aware of your running energy, your running performance, your training, discipline, the love for running. It's pretty crazy to see how one of the biggest things that you've done is slash your marathon time from a 4:09 to 2:59. But before we dive into the granular of like what an epic human you are, can you give me a little bit of a background on how running is in your background? Because you're not first generation runner.
I am not. So my mom's Instagram handle is actually Rena Runs. So that'll give you a little bit of background into my family. And yeah, so she's run probably over 100 marathons and half marathons. And so my brothers and I would volunteer at the Tucson Marathon because our good family friend ran it growing up. So we cleaned up all the trash. My dad was the head doctor at the Tucson Marathon. So yeah, I was around it all the time growing up, and my dad was a big cyclist in his own right. So yeah, some of my earliest memories were going to this race called 24 Hours in the Old Pueblo, where it's a 24-hour mountain bike race, and you see who can do the most amount of laps in that 24-hour period. And most people have teams, like 5 to 10 people. My dad just did it solo and won the solo like one of the first years. So it's
Holy
like,
shit. What a
yeah,
badass.
yeah, he's both of them are insane in their own rights, and he's a little bit more of a lunatic on the just what he does, and
Yeah.
he has these crazy things, and yeah, so it's in my background, and we're the type of family where there was no relaxing on vacation. It was like a 50-mile mountain bike ride, or there's always some crazy, let's go climb the tallest mountain in the nearest area. So yeah, it was an adventurous time growing up, but it definitely runs in the family and runs in my blood.
Yeah. I'm trying to picture like being that young and being aware of just these longer distance and marathons. Because I can only speak for myself. Like, I didn't know like marathoning was a thing until you got into a bigger city, until run clubs, but you've been living and breathing that stuff since itty bitty.
Yeah, I remember I'd be in the medical tent with my dad and seeing all these people like laying there. I'm like, what are they doing?
What happened to you?
Yeah, like did someone force them? Is this punishment? And now I get it. Like, oh, I get why people are in that medical tent now. Years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. And so it wasn't until 2020 was when your first marathon was?
So I ran my first marathon in 2021.
Oh,
I
okay.
started in LA. Obviously, the gyms were all closed, and so I just started running as a way to stay active and get out of the house. And yeah, so I started running, and I signed up for my first half marathon end of 2020, and then ran the LA marathon. I think it was in November that year because of COVID. I think they
Oh,
switched it. So yeah, that was the first marathon I ran, and it was a very interesting experience. I literally fell at mile 20, like we were talking about earlier. Mile 20 is the worst stretch in marathon history, going under the 405, and I cramped in every single muscle in my legs at the same time and couldn't bend my legs. So I was Frankensteining and just fell right into the crowd. I was with Justin
yeah. Nice.
Shields, and yeah, it was just brutal. Didn't eat before. Was eating like one of those Cliff Bar blocks like every 4 miles, which has maybe
Nothing.
nothing. Yeah, it was a hard learning lesson, and yeah, I crawled across that finish line though. I was like, I'm doing this, and the time was 4:09, so it was not quick.
No, man, but that's not for your first one. That's not bad. And
It was
especially
really
LA.
fun. It was honestly like the most fun because I was just in such a crazy loopy headspace after mile 20, and I was like just laughing at how crazy the experience was and how bad I was cramping in my legs, but it was a walk jog to the finish for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Mile 20 is in any race, in any marathon, it's gnarly. But at LA, it's a different type of gnarly because it's like things get quiet, you go turn right. I pictured it. I ran it 2 years ago, but I can picture it. And like, you never forget that feeling of like, this is death.
100%. And then when I ran it the third time, I had like PTSD of cramping. So I slowed down. Like, I'm not cramping. I'm not cramping. I didn't cramp, but I probably took a few minutes off at the time. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's better than the legs locking up and having to walk. That's a tough feeling.
And I honestly, the first marathon is just an experience of its own, purely just from the fact of like, you're going into it brand new.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, you learn so much from going through those experiences, and I probably should have talked to someone. I was just going, like, yeah, we'll figure it out, and yeah, trial by fire and learn the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think COVID for you was kind of the turning point to start running?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was more just even. I know some people. I think COVID was like a way to go two different ways in life. Like you either could spiral, or for me, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna work out and get really healthy. Granted, it wasn't great being locked into your house all the time, like
Yeah.
mentally, but I did use it as a time to get back in good shape and run more and lift more. And um, yeah, I think it was a blessing in disguise, honestly.
So if your parents were avid runners and then 2021 was your first marathon, was there a little bit of rebellion? Like, were they trying to get you to run earlier and you're like, nah, oh no, okay.
No, they didn't. We did play a lot of sports, me and my brothers.
Okay.
So my parents never really forced us to do anything. They kind of let us, besides school. I think school is like
Yeah.
the one thing they did force us to do. But other than that, it's kind of like a go do what you want. I think I did follow in my older brother's footsteps a bit. We played baseball and basketball, so I think they're influential on what I wanted to do. But yeah, I think we were just running around our neighborhood as kids growing up and
Hmm.
or doing running, but not necessarily organized or races in that regard.
Yeah, that's fair. So 409 was your first marathon finish. Hell of a finish. You got some cramping, some fueling lessons, experience of a lifetime. What made you want to do it again?
I think just knowing I could get a better time,
Oh, okay.
and I did enjoy it, but I am competitive naturally. I mean, growing up playing sports and being the youngest brother, there is just a chip on your shoulder and a lot of life activities. So I'm like, I could definitely shave off some time, and that was the main motivator. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna. I still wasn't as educated or knowledgeable during the second one, but over time you just build on it and you learn more. And I still fasted before the second one. I don't know why I did this stuff. But it went a little better. I still bonked a mile like 23. I had to walk for a little bit, but
Okay.
yeah, I was able to shave off about 30 minutes or so.
Solid.
Hmm.
Totally solid. You didn't want to eat before.
I don't know. I was a weirdo. I'm worried about getting stomach cramps, and
Yeah.
yeah, it just
I
wasn't.
will say there is such a beauty about trying to figure out what to eat before a race
Yeah.
because it can go so bad if you do not time that right.
Yeah, I was my latest marathon. I went to the waste management golf tournament the day before, and I was eating like poke and pinata, shrimp. I'm like, I was so hungry. I'm like, I probably should not be eating this. It was like buffet, so I was just sitting out there. Like, how long has that been out there?
Oh God. Oh,
Um,
I'm just thinking about like if I were in your position, you done how many marathons, learning lessons. At some point, you got to just full send and just do stuff.
yeah, got it. I
Yeah.
like living my life, and that's the thing about marathon training too. To get better at it, you really have to spend a lot of time doing it.
Hmm.
And I think people maybe don't realize that when you sign up for one, just how monotonous a lot of the training is. And that's
Yeah.
probably the most difficult part. And yeah, I feel like motivation is not going to be there most days. And it's going to be really hard to, and honestly, that's why I don't like doing so many of them a year.
Hmm.
You know, some people do race after race after race. It's like, oh, it's nice to not be training for something and let the body recover and sleep in and not have to go run 12 easy miles on a Wednesday. So
Yeah.
yeah, I really do try to just find a balance in everything that I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So those 30 minutes for someone who's listening, who's, let's say they're going into their first marathon or their second marathon. Hell, the LA marathon is in 2 days. What were some things that you did to shave off those 30 minutes that were like, huh, okay. Do you remember?
Yeah, so I think in race fueling was big. Actually, it was having gels, and I think that was a big thing. And realistically, the most important thing is I ran more miles
Like
week.
training?
Yeah, I trained more. So
Mm.
I think the first one I maybe got up to running 40 miles per week or like 45 miles per week, and then I was averaging around 50 to 55 for the second one. So I think just over time, my legs got more accustomed to the mileage, and I was able to go faster. And then also the first half of the first half marathon of the race, I didn't go as fast. I think the first one, I'm like, oh, I'll be able to hold 8 minute pace for the whole thing.
Mm.
And yeah, I was bonked. And yeah, you have to understand that it's the first time you're ever going to run 26 miles, and going out at a pace that is already pushing it probably isn't the best idea. But yeah, I just think the biggest thing was putting in more miles.
The miles, I'm sure, obviously just getting your body used to that kind of just being on your feet for that long, pushing yourself, definitely plays for a fact. I do think something that isn't always talked about is the moments before a race. Jeez Louise, the moments before a race where you arrive at 5 a.m., the race is at 7, you're standing in that corral for 2 hours, your energy's fucking flowing, and you're supposed to have the discipline to not go out at like full steam ahead. That's
Yeah.
like super hard.
Yeah, like the national anthem. They have some player from the Dodgers hyping you up. Yeah, it's tough, and there is an energy, and it's also stressful just how many people like getting up early, parking, or getting dropped off, or taking a shuttle. There's just a lot of stressful things, and you're already nervous. I think the mental part of just racing your race and not worrying about anyone around you, that's just a learned trait, and that's probably one of the harder things to do. And some people are able to go out really quick and have an excellent day and are be able to push it the whole time, but realistically, yeah, that's not going to happen for most people.
Yeah, like you mentioned, if it's your first marathon, it's your first time running 26 miles, like maybe not 26.2. I think that point
Yeah,
two right there. Deckard
don't
Lord.
forget it. It's the most important part.
Yep. No, because I definitely did that on my first marathon. My goal was to try to get under 4 hours. And I would ran it with my husband and I, and we were like 8:30, 8:15 straight out the gate. And by, oh my God, it was so bad. Oh, I was finding any excuse to stop. Oh, a piece of trash. I'll pick that up. Like anything to get us to stop.
uh,
Oh man. But
which
yeah,
marathon was that? LA
that
too?
was LA.
Okay. Yeah, it's a brutal first one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially with all the hills and all that. Okay. So your first one, 409, shaved 30 minutes off. When did it start becoming, and you talked a little bit about competitiveness, but when did this start becoming like, oh shit, like there's something here that I can kind of push myself career wise, runner wise?
I don't really know the specific. I think once I created like an Instagram account,
Oh,
honestly,
okay.
I'm like, all right, yeah, I guess I have to, I'm in this niche now. And I think once I ran like a 130 half, I was like, okay, that was like a big confidence boost. Like, I think because when you first start running, the idea of running a sub 3 hour marathon seems so out there and crazy. Like, I can't even 650, I could barely do 2 miles or a mile at 650. Like, the idea of running 26 miles, it seemed like something that was very far out of my reach. And once I was able to just sort of stack miles, and you do build fitness pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, once I did that 130 half marathon, I started to build more confidence. And I think I did a 3:42 and then a 3:17, and then was able to do the sub 3 hours after that, which was awesome.
Yeah. So were your first three LA?
The third one I did was Mesa, which is the one I just ran again this
Oh,
year,
okay.
which is
Okay.
here in Arizona, which is like a fast downhill course. And
Okay.
then I did LA again. I've done LA 3 times, Mesa twice, and Chicago once.
Okay. So chasing the sub 3 marathon, like you mentioned, like that's daunting in itself. And so it's the average mile pace is 650.
Yeah, 650.
Dude.
I know. Crazy.
How did you like even go about like, okay, how do we train for, how do we do this?
Yeah, a lot of online, just seeing, like watching YouTube
Okay.
and learning as much. And then there's this guy, Stephen Scullion, who
Okay.
he's like a really famous Irish runner, and he had a sub 3 hour program. I was like, I'll just buy it. So I didn't do his fully, but I used a lot of his speed workouts, which were really good. And it
Mm,
was really hard, honestly.
I
Like,
bet.
it's like, okay, go do 16 by 1K today at marathon pace. I'm like, dude, it's a Friday. Like, that's very exhausting. Like, that's 12 miles of work. And I think that's what I needed, though, is just a little bit more structure and just the workouts, too, where I felt confident on the race day. And I did cramp a little bit during the Chicago Marathon, like at
Hmm.
mile 24. I'm like, oh no, like I do not want to cramp up. But then I was able to like chug some Gatorade and push through. And then I think I did the last mile at like 6 minute pace
Hmm.
and got the sub 3 hours by like 30 seconds. So it was, yeah, it was crazy. I was barely able to do it, but I did it.
You did it.
Mm-hmm.
Why sub 3?
I don't even know. I mean, that just seems to be like Boston qualifier, even though it's not even a Boston qualifier anymore because so many people are fast nowadays that they take the fastest times. But yeah, I just think that was the standard of not excellence, but close to it. Like that's a big achievement. So yeah, I don't know. I just set my eyes on that, and I've been trying to get below that. And I know we're probably talk about golf. I've taken up golfing, and sometimes it's just hard to. Like, I only have so much time and energy in the day, and so I've sort of reached like a point where I don't know how much more I'm willing to push past like training.
Hmm.
Like I don't know if I'm trying to crank it up to doing like 80 miles a week. It just seems like a lot with like other stuff I like doing in my life. So I'm sort of at a crossroads of how hard I want to go. But I may do a winter marathon or something and see if I
Yeah.
could just do like a big training block for that. But still taking some time to enjoy life.
I'm glad you talked about that because I feel like when you have all of these goals and the sub 3, the sub 255, all of those goals, they're amazing. And then you also talk about taking the time to enjoy life and in between.
Yeah, got it. I
Yeah.
just and I think just like for longevity too of doing it and not getting burnt out, I think for me I just have to take the time off. And some people like going from race to race. I think there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're staying healthy and getting adequate amount of recovery. But yeah, for me it's nice to not have something on the schedule.
Yeah. Were you ever afraid if you didn't have a race right away, you'd kind of fall off and like maybe not find that spark to like just do another race again?
Probably not.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I
Okay.
don't think so. I think I just like doing it enough where I think I'll always be doing it in some capacity. But yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. That was my fear because for 3 years I've always had, oh, if I don't
Race.
sign up for another one, I'm going to lose all the fitness I just built. But there is like, I think this past December after my last marathon, I was like, hey, my body is fucking trashed. It's so trashed. Um,
I do think you do lose fitness. Honestly, I have lost fitness by taking my time off. Like I'll run like 10 miles a week, and then I'll try to get back in the marathon. Like, oh my god, I'm so out of shape. So I don't know if you're really trying to improve your marathon times.
mhm.
I do think there is a base mileage you have to do
Yeah.
to continue to have that fitness from the previous block. And I do this time around want to hit that, like probably for me, it's like 30 miles a week. Cause yeah, I mean, you don't really want to lose all that. And I've done it
No.
before where I've sort of started from scratch again. And it just felt, by the time I got to the race, I just felt so burnt out because it was such a long build. So I do
Yeah.
think that there's a little bit of maintenance miles you have to do.
Yeah.
I think the structure of it too is very appealing, and yeah, knowing like what you're going to do all these days. And yeah, once you sort of lose that, it's almost like an identity crisis a bit.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. So I hear you on that. And that's why it's good to take the breaks, be like, okay, I'm fine. Like it's fine being able to sort of not have stuff planned, and each day maybe a little bit more unknown. Like some days I wake up, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Like, am I going to go to the driving range? Am I going to go to the gym? Am I going to go to run? So I think having a little bit more of that in my life is actually a good thing.
Yeah. Damn. Good for I am so not there. I'm like, if I wake up and I don't have a plan, I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan today.
I need to make a plan. I need to make a plan about me not having a plan right
There you
now.
go. There you go. There's a loophole. No, what you just said that so beautifully because I think there is like it's balance, man. It's so much balance of like, yeah, have a training program, but then wake up one day when you're done and it's break time. Don't
Yeah.
have a plan.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Getting
Yeah, wow.
philosophical this early in the morning.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, plus I think because you've recently moved from LA to Arizona. Well, not recently, maybe like a year ago.
Yeah, October.
Yeah, so life transition,
Yeah, pretty recent.
life stuff happening. So this is kind of a generic question. You can take it or you want to leave it.
What's my favorite color?
No, no, but that is a great question. That's a great. What is your favorite color?
Green.
Oh, is
Mm.
that an olive?
It says all of you, like I love you.
Oh, that's a great hat. So, coming from a family of runners, what has running done for you from like a personal perspective? Not as an athlete, not Gabe the runner, Gabe the human.
Gabe the human. I think it has been very meditative for me in a lot of ways. There's almost something primal about her, connecting with like your most, I don't know the way of phrasing it, but you're sort of just going like back to ground floor. And I remember one time I was on a run on the boardwalk and it was like a beautiful sunrise, and I had this like memory of me running as a kid, and like I like felt that it was like crazy. It was like a spiritual experience while I was running. I'm like, oh wow, this is like what I should be doing, and it felt so right. And I think aside from the training and getting caught up in the mileage and all of that, which
Mm-hmm.
sometimes can make you neglect the why are you actually doing this and the mental benefits of it. And so I think just the meditative aspect of it has been really important, and also you get to eat a lot of food after. So
Yeah,
that's
that's true. I I also am not someone. I think it depends upon the runner. Like you're in it for different reasons. You do it. Your why is different. You know the generic why do you run? But I think if you do strip away the numbers, you strip away the mileage, and then you just go out for a run, just to go out for a run, what it does for your brain, and I speak pretty openly about this, is it just kind of is a reset switch. You step away from your desk, you step outside, you're just in a different place.
yeah. And it can be like walking, biking, golf. Like there are a lot of ways to do it. And yeah, I think the being outside part is crucial just for my brain. And yeah, like you said, the reset is really important.
So with all of this, we did talk about how you work full time, you do play golf, you do train. How do you do you still like make time to do stuff that's fun for Gabe, or is that what golf is?
That's what golf is.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a very easygoing person and like just enjoying life. And I don't really get too worked up about a lot of stuff, which is good. And yeah, I think I have enough time to hang out with family and friends. And um, it sometimes can be overwhelming. And I think that's just natural. People get overwhelmed. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
really feel like it's a bad thing to get overwhelmed sometimes, just the way it is. And yeah, I don't accept that as like a negative. Just go on a walk and everything will be okay. And yeah, I don't really put a negative connotation to having too much going on in life sometimes.
Yeah, that's really good. How do you do that? Do you just like, oh well, life's happening?
Yeah, I think it's not like I don't take anything seriously. It's just focusing on what you can control.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, let's say you have something going on at work and you've done everything you can to either put yourself in the best position for this scenario or whatever it is. And I think you have to accept like that's good enough and everything else is out of your control. And it's not easy to do. I think it's a learned practice, and I haven't always been good at this stuff. But as long as I know that I'm doing everything I can, I think I'm at the end of the day like okay with the outcomes.
And you recently just ran the Mesa Marathon,
I did.
right? That was the one
Mhm.
where you're like having the shrimp, the poke.
Yeah, Perfect pre-run meal, some shrimp.
Yep. Yep. And you were going for a 255, or is it just another three, a sub 3er?
I was gonna go for 255. Sub 3 would have been nice, but I ran a 305.
Okay.
Yeah, still a
Yeah.
good rate. Like I think that's like
Dude,
my floor now, which is awesome. Like I'm
pretty
not
crazy.
feeling good and being able to go out and crank a 305, and obviously it wasn't the time I wanted. I didn't feel great the whole time.
Mm.
Um, which is just some days you just don't feel that good, and I kind of just felt like I was pressing hard, even though I wasn't like going that fast. So yeah, I think the mental battle in that one was surely. I did not want to keep going. I was like, I'm so over this, and it was a very tough mental battle to get over that finish line.
Did you know you weren't going to be able to hit your time pretty early on?
Not really. I think I came
Okay.
in at like 128 at the
Oh,
half marathon mark.
okay.
I was sweating. It was warm. Like it'd been so perfect for like 2 months, like 40, 50 degrees. And then we get like a 65 or like high 60s day. And I was just really hot. Um, and it's pretty downhill. The first 3 miles were really downhill, but then there's about a mile and a half climb at mile 4. And once I got over that, I was like, I was just really hot and sweating a lot. So that was like a not the best sign, but I felt okay until about mile 20, and then I had started having to take a lot more gels because I could feel cramps coming on,
Hmm.
and then my stomach eventually just like overloaded, and I got nauseous. But I kept running. I think I just like slowed down to like 8 minute mile paces for a
Okay.
few there, but then picked it back up and was able to finish. I think the last mile like around 7 minute pace.
Dang. Okay. Because I was curious if you knew right away if like, oh, like it's the 255's out the window and having to run through that. But it seems like you were pretty much sticking with it the entire time.
Yeah, I just knew if I was going to get it, it would be like it was an absolute grind to get over that finish line. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that's hard to train for is being able to push through that
Mm-hmm.
mental junk, for lack of a better term. Like it's
Yeah.
just like how do you when your mind is going to be like, we need to stop, like you're redlining, like please stop. How do you get through that? And that's honestly the hardest part of marathon training is you're probably going to want to quit mentally way before you are physically,
Mm-hmm.
which is really tough.
Just like it almost is like a sense of panic because your body's like, stop, 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 stop. And you're like, no, no. And then eventually you're like, okay, why are we not stopping? And you have to find that it's deep down.
Oh, it's. I think that's the beauty of it too. Is you're sort of venturing into a part of your mind that you don't like. Usually, when you have negative thoughts, you're like, oh, okay, I'll put those away. But these negative thoughts are so clear in those moments, and you can't fight them. And you almost are like pushing past, like into the ether of just like you're. I don't even know where it is, but yeah, that's like I think what the appeal to it is. Like you're not your thoughts, like
Mm-hmm.
you're this,
Ooh.
you're actually the thing beyond that, who's just like a human being going through life, and you're not all this commotion in your head. So I think that's why I like it.
Hmm. Is there any sort of like, so let's say for example those thoughts are coming in and they're like, stop, you need to stop, you need to stop, you need to stop, like you said, redlining. Is
Yeah,
there anything that you mentally combat with, or do you have a saying on your arm? Like, how are you overcoming that?
I went on YouTube in the middle of the race and I typed "don't quit" and clicked on the first montage I found. It was like 35 minutes, mainly Steve Harvey, and it
Okay.
was just people talking about don't quit. It was actually pretty good because all of it was so relevant. It's like, oh, you want to stop now? You want to stop now, huh? And I was like, yeah, I do actually. Go keep going. They're essentially gaslighting me for 30 minutes, but yeah, I just did that. I've never ever done that before, but it just yeah, spur of the moment. I was like, I'm throwing this on.
Yeah. Hey, it
I
worked.
don't. Yeah, I don't have really have a mantra or anything. I think like the 1 mile at a time is good. Or if I see something, just get there. Don't look at your watch. Just get to that point, and then do it again. Just get to that point, do it again. Just keep your mind occupied.
Okay, so you'll like pick something in the crowd and run to it. Okay, let me
Yeah,
pick the
I'd
next
be like,
thing.
all right, get to the top of this hill, and then like you're good. Just keep doing that.
Okay, that's great advice. I've never. I'll have to try to find that YouTube on. I can put it in the in the podcast details too.
It was funny.
That's awesome. I
Mhm.
also have heard people listening to the Big Booty remix.
That's not bad. A lot of BPMs. But when you are in that mental spot, music kind of becomes just annoying.
Yeah, it does.
Quiet. Big booty.
Plus, depending on your mile time or your marathon time, your AirPods are probably dead,
Yeah.
so you won't probably with the shocks. But
I brought I've had the same AirPods for like 6 years. I don't know. They're just, I don't know how.
they're
I have
still
little
hanging
ears
on.
too. I don't know if you
Oh,
can tell. So you can't really, like the bigger ones don't fit in them. So I have to use like the original
oh.
model.
I like the originals too. I don't like the newer
No,
one. They're aggressive.
yeah, it's too big for me. It just hurts. The fallout, yeah. It's
Yeah.
good.
So, if you don't mind me asking, let's say we go back to the Mesa Marathon. You ran really hard, you pushed through, you missed your 2:55. Can you walk me through navigating I didn't quite hit my goal time, but I still freaking crushed it.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the how you tried everything you could during that race, and
Yeah.
it was a big mental battle. And 3:05 is still like an amazing time, and who cares about the time? Like just being able to push your body and enjoy running and be healthy enough to do it, and be healthy throughout the whole training, and still be able to enjoy my life. I think was, yeah, like a huge positive. And I remember when I ran Mesa in 2023, when I ran the 3:17, like being able to shave 12 minutes off of that, but like just be a lot more confident in my abilities. And I think it's just accepting that I did everything I could, and who gives a shit at the end of the day.
I love it. I love that. Because, I mean, acknowledging the fact your body just did what it did, you did just shave how much time off your previous Mesa time. And then Gabe the human just crushed this thing.
That's as simple as that, I guess.
Uh, yeah, it is as simple as that. I don't know about you, but sometimes if I miss a goal, it takes me a little bit of time. You seem to have a good perspective on it.
Yeah, I think like the day after, I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta do another race. Gotta prove these people that I'm fast. And then like after a week, I'm like, okay, now I'm good. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
There's like a little bit of the ego, like, oh, you got to go back out there. And um, yeah, I think it's just really understanding and being self aware of what you want to do. And there were like a few people that messaged me after, like, oh, even though I was struggling, they're like, oh, I saw you and you like said what's up. Like, that was a big inspiration to keep going. I'm like, that's cool. Like, that was honestly just as cool as finishing the race. That
Yeah.
people were able to get hyped up by seeing me die. So
Yes.
I'll take that.
Oh man, I remember seeing your mom at the LA marathon
Mm-hmm.
last year. I think I'm actually in one of your
Yeah, you are.
pictures.
I saw you in the you're in the background of the one I posted like 2 days ago. You're in it.
Yeah. Well, because my husband ran it and I had a big picture of his face on my shirt. But I remember seeing your mom and just like with the sign, and she was so stoked for you.
Loves it. Yeah, it's like her favorite thing to come and share these races. She'll like pack like a whole countertop worth. She's like, okay, you need to bring all this tomorrow. I'm like, I have two pockets on my little running shorts. I can't fit a full coconut water in there.
Holy shit. That's impressive.
She's like, you need to take cash. I'm like, am I gonna pay a taxi driver to drive me home in the middle of a race?
Plus, also, man, think about that cash when it's all sweaty. Like, who's
It's
going to want to touch that thing?
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but she's amazing. And yeah, is like a huge advocate. And is really helpful too. Like a lot of times I'll be hurting, she'll have like a Gatorade or something, which we'll get like the last Mason one. She gave me a Fiji water full of Gatorade, like frozen Gatorade, so it was like a slushy, and that I could feel like the the cramps coming. And I would chug it and like would feel good for about half a mile or so. So she sometimes is a little overwhelming with the stuff she wants to give me, but it is helpful. And then at the end of the day, I'm really appreciative of all my family support,
Yeah.
including
That's,
my wife goes to all these races too, and then films me and gives me
oh,
gels. And yeah, it's really makes it a lot better to have people there and support you. And they don't care about the times either, like that. Yeah, that's the
no.
other cool part.
Yeah, definitely. It was just really cool. I remember seeing your mom and I was just like, holy shit, that is awesome. And I think there was a picture you posted of your family cheering you on. And that is a really cool part about all these races too, is like they know that level of energy and effort and training and time that you put in.
Yeah,
And they're there to remind you of
It's weird. I haven't spectated one since I was like a little kid because I'm always like running in them. And so I haven't really, I need to, maybe I'll stay a little bit extra on, or maybe I'll go to the LA Marathon for a bit before my flight.
Yeah. That race is special. I bumped into so many people. I saw Sally McRae. I saw like it was just really cool and giving people high fives. Like it's just like egos, all that shit aside.
Yeah.
LA brings in like a really special group of people.
Yeah. And I think the fact it's such a hard race too, it's like,
Yeah.
it just brings a different energy of people sort of struggling together. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, really fun race. And it's also like anyone can get into it. There's no qualifications. You can just sign up online. I think that also adds another cool element to it.
Yeah. You don't have to have a certain time. It's
Yeah.
do you know, and I don't know, I've heard bits and bobbles and rumors in the background. I think LA is trying to be one of the Abbotts. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen though. Like I don't think that course is like
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I heard it sold out for like the first time ever this year. So maybe they just say that as a marketing tactic.
oh man. So talk to me really quickly because you just launched Sonoran. Am I saying it right? Sonoran Running?
Sonoran.
Okay. Yeah, pronunciation, not my number
Yeah.
one.
So the Sonoran Desert's the desert, Tucson, Phoenix,
Mm,
and then southern Arizona into Mexico. Uh, it's the most biodiverse desert in the world, if you want a fun fact about that.
okay.
And I probably spent more time in the desert, in this desert, than I have anywhere else. So I thought it was just a fitting name of something that's special to me and has meant a lot to me. And yeah, I've been coaching people for the last year, and it's been really fulfilling. I just had a client; she PR'd the Paris half marathon last weekend, and it's just a different thing to help other people reach their goals. And I didn't want to do it until I felt like I had enough experience and was able to do these races. And obviously, I'm not coaching people that are trying to like make the Olympics or anything. I think it's more like a people have normal schedules and maybe want to try to do sub-3 or maybe want to break 4 hours or 3:30 in the marathon. I think I can bring a lot of my experience to the table there. Yeah, I got the certification, and there's always a little bit of like launching your own business is scary in its own right. And um, yeah, it's been great and really fun so far.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it's been a year in the making and then finally launched it publicly?
Yeah, so I've been just people asking. I got the certification last year, and then yeah, people would just DM me asking if I coached, and so it was like more organic that way. And I wanted to,
Mm,
well, one, I wanted to see if I even liked doing it before launching it. Like, I don't
yeah.
want to start a business that I don't enjoy.
Right.
Like, what if I don't like coaching? And so, yeah, I wanted to just get some experience under my belt before launching the full thing. And so, yeah, that's
Awesome.
where I'm at today.
Yeah. Is it virtual or are you in person?
So it's virtual.
Okay.
I think I'm going to like start a run club or run group here and sort of see if I can meet more people in the Phoenix area because it is a big running community and obviously a growing, massive city with cool running routes and stuff. So, yeah, I think that's the natural next step.
Yeah. I love that for you. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
And another organic thing that you've fallen into is golf.
Is golf. Yeah.
Gabe the golfer, Gabe the
Gabe the
runner, Gabe
golfer.
the dude.
Gabe Greens is what they call me.
Oh, that's awesome.
No one calls me that.
Oh, really? See, dude, I'm gullible as hell. You had me like on three
I'm
times.
very sarcastic too.
Oh,
So
okay. But have you been golfing for a long time or has it been like a recent passion?
this is recent. So I started probably halfway through 2023,
Oh, okay.
and they call it the golf bug. It is very, very much a real thing. Like if you want to enjoy your free time, like I don't recommend like going and buying clubs. Like it's
Okay.
very like I didn't care about golf at all. Like if it's on the TV, change the channel. I don't want to watch this. Like boring. And now it's like all consuming. It's crazy. It is very. Went to the driving range this morning. It was freezing outside, and just I think
Yeah.
it's also with the improvements you can make are so in your control, like from a practice perspective, and obviously there's like technique and stuff, and so it's very similar or parallel to running, where yeah, the more work you put in, usually you'll see pretty massive gains.
Yeah.
Obviously not true for everyone, but I think I just like the cut and dry of how to get
Yeah.
better of a certain activity.
And it's so opposite of running in regards to like, it's form. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, form and
Yeah.
mental. Like, it's just literally practice strokes all the time. Like,
It's so mental too. And I think that's the most exciting part of it is like if you're not locked in mentally, it's just tough. It's also nice just being out in nature and hang out with friends. It's the best catching up with friends activity. Like I've caught up with so many friends that I went to high school with or college with just by going and, hey, you want to go play around? So like that's the other benefit of it. It's just a good activity to hang out with buddies
yeah. Dang.
and compete with buddies.
And there you go. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so my last two questions for you before we go into rapid fire questions is what is your biggest tip for someone who has never run before and is thinking about starting?
Don't run every run like it's your last run. You'll probably get injured. Maybe run like once or twice a week to start and then slowly build it up.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Okay, and then what is the most valuable lesson running has taught you that you'll be able to apply to everyday life?
Sometimes you can do everything right and you're still not going to get the results you want, and that's okay.
Ooh, that was good. All right, rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Do it.
Okay. Go to karaoke song.
Whoa. Hallelujah.
Ooh.
I don't do karaoke, but I sing that song all the time. I don't even know the words. I kind of make up my own words, but the
You just sing the chorus?
Version.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Like the swamp, he and
Yeah.
Donkey.
Yeah. The sad part. Shrek's got probably the best soundtrack, honestly.
100%.
I get some good songs in there.
Opener,
Yeah.
just Swamp Life. Oh, dude, I gotta watch that again.
I
I
know.
freaking love those movies.
I haven't seen Shrek probably in 15 years. It's been a long time.
Probably the same.
Yeah. Maybe
Even
longer.
maybe even Shrek 2. Like that also had a couple bangers.
Very underrated.
So good. So good. Okay, I think I already know this, but are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning person.
I feel like that's accurate for getting up early to go run or play golf.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one thing you can't live without?
My wife.
Major points.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was the best answer ever. What is the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I've ever received.
I mean, you just gave some pretty good advice.
I did. I probably didn't even hear that from myself. Best advice I ever received: spend more time outside.
That's good.
My dad. He's always
Aw.
told me to do that.
Good advice. Okay, two more questions. What is one thing that you want listeners to know about you?
One thing I want them to know about me. I am El Salvadorian and German. There you go. Ethnicity.
That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that like that.
No, it's
Whoa.
a rare combo.
Dude, kudos. Shout out to your parents. That's awesome.
Shout out mom and dad.
Shout out mom and dad. Okay, what are three things that you're grateful for?
Grateful for my health, my family, and their health, and that that one was gonna get weird. And Mother Nature. There we go.
Very nice.
Thank you.
That's the podcast. You crushed it, man.
There we go.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Having me on.
No problem. It was a long time coming, is what I was saying.
Yeah, it was.